Now, can we see everything okay? Looks like it. Looks good. Okay, and we're recording. Hubert shoved Tarzan to get there first, accidentally bumping into Melody, who then stubbed her big toe on the door jamb. Blech. How would you guys like to take a trip? How would you guys like to take a trip way up north? Unspoken assumption that Tarzan would be allowed to go away with them anytime they wished. And we can leave first thing in the morning. Strange things, Melody asked hesitantly from the back seat. Och aye, you'll nae want to stay there, lassie, confirmed. Och aye, you'll nae want to stay there, lassie. As they approached, they could make out an old stone 4-story castle-like dwelling towering high above them. Towering high above them. Bleh. Towering high above them. Towering high above them. As they approached, they could make out an old stone 4-story castle-like dwelling. As they approached, they could make out an old stone 4-story castle-like dwelling towering high above them. Here we are, announced Dad cheerfully as the pony pulled up alongside the building. Punctuating particular consonants, he emphasized his inquiry by kicking his pal under the table. Where were you? He emphasized his inquiry by kicking his pal under the table. He really needed to use the toilet, and badly. Unsightly, shredded, soggy tissue clung throughout the white bristles. Screaming and hollering to no avail. No one heard a thing. Ha 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 ha. With her colorful sun umbrella sticking up from the middle. With one of those colorful sun umbrellas. At one of those round tables with a colorful sun umbrella sticking up from the middle. Went sploot into her glass uninvited. 3 whiskered chins wobbling. You two were very rude. Completely mesmerized. What a babe, thought Tarzan dreamily. Chubby Hugo charged straight past his older sister. This sucks, muttered Tarzan to himself. Between delicious mouthfuls of stew loaded with nutrients, he explained. Some people have... Brilliant. No one suspects a thing, he triumphed within himself. Doo-dee-doo. Hey, he forced himself to pick up a spoon and ladle a sip of slurry into his mouth. Ah! Ah! Blah! Blarg! Blah! Ugh! That's gross. They both turned and looked at Hugo. Hunched over the sink. Hold up! Where's Mel? Tarzan had stopped. Looking back down the deserted hallway they'd both come from. Tarzan had stopped. Looking back down the deserted hallway they'd both come from. Tarzan had stopped. Looking back down the deserted hallway. Tarzan had stopped. Looking back down the deserted looking back down the deserted hallway they'd both come from, realizing Melody had been left behind. Bleh. 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 Eh. Bleh. With a violent whiplash, Hubert landed hard. He wasn't sure how anyone would react if he was found here all by himself. He still hadn't cleaned up the big mess he'd made of tools scattered all over the floor. Their own guilty shadows flickered sporadically along the block stone walls by lit candelabras candelabras. By lit candelabras. I don't know how to say that. Candelabras. By lit candelabras. By lit candelabras. By lit candelabras included by, I don't know how to say that. Their own guilty shadows flickered sporadically along the block stone walls, lit by candelabras, including a solitary candle positioned at the center of a sacred-looking table up at the front. The powdery insect floated away in the air unharmed. The powdery insect floated away in the powdery insect floated away in the air unharmed. And we'll wait. Bin truck is here. Recycling lorry. Don't know if you can hear that. No! Moo! Can we be done now? He pleaded. His sister stepped in. Yay! Whee! Cool. Cling, clang. Clank, clink. Thump, thump, thump. Crash! Boom! Uh-oh. Positively shocking. Shh! Quiet! Yep, got it. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh. What? Bum, bum, bum. Boo! Plap. Blam! Gotcha! Ow! Thanks, Tar. Real nice. All night long. Hubert looked down into the murky depths of the watery, tomatoey red. I'm reading too fast. Let's start again.